Hi, hello, and welcome to another video. So, it's another day, another vlog. So, before we start, I thought I would talk about how I read so much, just because, let's see how many, I have read 125 books this year already. So, if I read as much as I have been able to do lately, I might reach over 300 books this year. So, when I would talk about how do I read so much? So, and I have to say, I try not to read a lot of short books to kind of get that number up, just because I read some short books. Obviously, I do. But it's not that many that are really short. So I feel like one thing that I am really liking is to have options, and that's kind of why I am reading quite a lot. I try to keep myself like no more than 3 books at the same time. Sometimes it gets a lot, and I also have to say that I usually, if I'm not feeling a book, I will put it down for a while and then I might pick it up again. Or I might, sometimes I speed through books if I don't particularly love them. That's not something that I try to do very much. I rather just put them down until I am in the mood. And that's one thing that is kind of happening over here. I have started these 4 books. I have yet to finish them, so I will probably get back to them once I am feeling like that. And I have to say, for me, I like having structure. That's why I do my TBR game, just because I like to have some sort of like prompts to find a book for. Do I need to finish all of those books? No, because the TBR game is just for fun. But I like having a little structure, just because if you just say pick any book, I will be like, I have so many books to pick from, I don't know what to even start with. That's kind of how I am getting to that. And I love lists. I have a lot of lists, so I've made myself a list of like all the series that I am a part of, and written down all the books that I need to read in that series that I have started, and also a few different other ones, like I call it GoodReads catch up, like these books you need to finish to kind of get to the book on the GoodReads that is a GoodReads winner. And I also have, now I use for my audiobooks, I use something called Storytel, and that is I think it's mostly Scandinavian. I think it's made in Sweden, but basically what I do there, I will just overall save any books that I see that I find interesting, have an interesting premise, and basically I always have an audiobook on the go, just to make things easier. So once I'm done with one audiobook, I will start another, because that will make it easier. So I always have an audiobook, so it might be a long one, it might be a short one, and then on Storytel it will tell you, I don't know if it's a week or 14 days before that book disappears from there, obviously, because you have these, they will eventually disappear, because they might no longer have rights for them and need to buy more rights. And then I will try and make that my priority, so I finish off those books before they disappear. And sometimes it might be a lot of books, so I will keep on reading a lot of audiobooks. Not me reading, but listening to. I feel like a lot of people don't say that audiobooks are not reading. I will disagree. Yes, you are not physically reading the book, but you are consuming the book. I feel like that is a big difference between, yes, I don't read the book, but I am consuming the book in some way. And yes, I can say that yes, I have read it because I have consumed the book, and I feel like definitely I am doing, I want to say, mostly audiobooks. This year I have been listening to a lot of audiobooks. I have this handy dandy one. Let's see. Yes. So basically I have listened to 51 audiobooks, but I have read 49 physical books. So we are doing really well. And then I have read 10 ebooks. So ebooks are definitely not one that I'm reading the most of, but that is because I have physical books. Now there will eventually be a time where I will read probably mostly ebooks and audiobooks, because books are expensive and I don't like to buy books that I need to give away, because it's really like difficult to, I feel like it's really difficult to sell them off where I live. So, and yeah, so other than that, I love lists. So I love to have a set list on options. That's why I have kind of a lot of goals too, like non-fiction, GoodReads winner, just so I am always able to, you know, pick something from that, and make it easier for me, because I am terrible at making these small decisions. And yeah, I also, if I don't feel a book, I will put it down. If I don't feel like reading, I might not even read that day, but I always try to continue on. And I also find it really helpful to kind of have a goal for how many pages do I want to read every day. Like, yeah, and sometimes those goals are not, like, I am not able to do that. Like this book I was supposed to finish last week, didn't do it because I didn't feel like reading. Saturday and Sunday I read nothing. So basically I don't always read, but when I read I will try and get a good dent in. Audiobooks definitely helps. And one thing that I am loving is to listen to an audiobook while following along. I don't do that if I'm tabbing a book, just because then I need to pause the audiobook every single time I find something that I want to, you know, tab. So yeah, and then definitely reading for, now I read for videos, not everyone read for videos, you know, so, but yeah, definitely I feel like I read more once I, you know, get something, let's call it get something out of it. Like, so I have 5 books that I need to read for a video that is going up on Sunday, and that means that I need to figure out how many do I need to read within this week to get it done. Like, how many pages do I need to read? I know I have 2 audiobooks, which will help just because I can listen to an audiobook kind of anytime I want. And then I also have to say that with reading, I definitely try and keep like my phone time to a minimum. Like, I don't scroll when I am supposed to read. Sprints can also really help. Like, I am going to sprint for 20 minutes, take a 5-10 minutes break, and then get back into it. That can work. Or I am going to read 100 pages and then I can rather pick something else up or basically do something else and then read a little bit more after that. So yeah, that's kind of a few tips on how to kind of read more. And now I also have to say I am a quick reader. I read pretty quick, and I feel like you should not basically think that I need to read this many books, just because I feel like once you get that into your head, it won't like be tempting to read. I do not try and like push myself to read if I don't feel like it, just because then I don't want to. If I push myself, I don't want to. So yeah. But now let's talk about what I need to read this week. Not this week, but what I am planning on reading today. That's what we are up to. So I need to continue on with this. I want to see if I can get up to page 200 today in this, just because this one is 700 pages and I want to finish this one off, I want to say at least on Saturday, to make things easier on myself. This one I need to read 200 pages in these books every day, because I have 3 that I need to finish off. So this one is 300, and so I need to at least get to page 200 in this to be able to finish these off before Friday. So this one is the first one done and dusted. So far I am really enjoying this, so it shouldn't be a problem to get to that, and maybe try and get some more done too. I don't really know. I always try to get a little bit ahead, you know. But 200, it's quite a lot, but I mean, technically shouldn't be a problem. So those are the that I really need to get to. And then I have so much that I kind of need to get to this week, because I have been procrastinating with some of them. So another book that I kind of should get to is A Deal with Elf King. This one is 300 and so pages, so I might try and get 50 pages into this. Now we are starting to get a little bit, like, this is starting to get a lot of reading. But if I can get to 50, that would be great. Just so I am able to get some reading done in this. However, it doesn't stop there. I can actually get to this one as well. This one is 400 pages. So technically I should read at least 50 pages in this one as well. Now this one is not too bad because it has quite big texts. So yeah, I should definitely try and get to this one as well. So I mean, that is almost 600 pages a day. That's a lot. So I don't know if that is possible. It really depends. I feel like these 2 are the ones that I'm going to focus on, just because these 2 are something that I want to get done. I need to get this one done just because I'm starting the Crescent City series next month, and then I really need to get this one to be finished off with it so I can move on, you know. And this one is for a video. And you know, I have 2 days left next week, so I mean, I can like blast through this one if I feel like it. So just because this is a reread, so it's not that big of a problem to get to that. But yeah, that's kind of everything that I need to talk about now. So I'm going to read, and let's just see what I'm able to get to today. Just finished my 200 pages in this, so I will have to see if I continue on reading 100 pages in this, or if I read a little bit more, just because I feel like I am always trying to read a little bit more just to make it easier on myself, because I know that when the weekend comes, I feel like a lot of people read a lot in the weekends and I don't. And usually on weekends I try to do some audiobooks, I rarely touch physical books on weekends, and I feel like that's something that I always keep in mind, that, or try to keep in mind, and then seems to forget that I don't read that much in the weekends, which basically means that the majority of the reading that I do is during the weekdays. And yeah, I also try to not read for too long, just because I get headaches, and if I read too much, it might, you know, trigger a headache that lasts for a few days. But yeah, I read my 200 pages in this, so we are now up to 210, chapter 18, and so far I'm liking it. I have to say that right now, I mean, Nesta is really pissing me off, and yes, I have to say I'm really happy that we are kind of in her head in this, just because if not, I would definitely have liked Nesta even less, just because in this one we are sort of understanding why she's the way she is. We haven't gotten the entire story yet on why she's feeling like this, so I'm hoping that we get a more detailed explanation on kind of why she's feeling the way she's feeling. And yeah, definitely she's definitely dealing with the trauma that the last book gave her, so yeah, I can't wait to get more. I mean, I might try to read like 150 pages of this every day, just so I am able to finish off a little bit earlier than Saturday. That was that. And now I mean, the clock is 3, so I have a few things that I need to get done. But I am also going to try and get to page 200 in this as well. I don't think it will take me, just because the text is really large, and yeah, last time I am also up to page 65, so definitely don't think it will be a problem to get to page 200 in this, and then I have to see what time it is, and after that I might see if I read a little bit more, or if I pick up the other 2 books that I feel like I should get to. And I feel like that is one reason why I try to read a little bit more in the books that I am currently reading, because I know that I have more books, but also not to pressure myself too much. I also have things we have from the light, which I really want to try and get to as well. This is going to get a lot. Now I am going to say that I feel like I should finish off my cowboy romances before I pick up things we left behind. That means that I will probably have Saturday, Sunday, Monday and Tuesday, right, to finish it off. And I have a plan for next week on a video that we are doing. So yeah, I'm going back to reading. I also need to finish up the dinner that we are going to have today, so that's kind of is the plan. Okay, so it's time to end today's vlog. So why don't we start with the audiobook, because we are almost done with that. So I am currently reading Family Lore, and this is Elizabeth Acevedo's book, new book, and so far I'm not loving it. It's probably like 3 stars, but I will finish that before I go to bed today, but we're not going to. So I don't really know what this is about, to be honest. It basically says that
Flora has a gift she can predict to the day when someone will die. So she decides she wants a living wake, a party to bring her family and community together to celebrate the long life she's led. Her sisters are surprised. Has Flora foreseen her own death or someone else's? Does she have other motives? She refuses to tell her sister Mathilde, Pastora, and Camilla. But Flora isn't the only person with secrets. Her sisters are hiding things too, and the next generation, cousins Una and Yari, face turmoil of their own.
I think it's gonna end up as a 3 stars. I'm not fully loving it. But one thing this one is for is my ruling path. So just because this one is for my zodiac sign, because Elizabeth Acevedo was recommended as like a full-on author to basically Cancer signs. So yeah, that's kind of where we are at. I did not get to these two, but it's fine. I had some catching up to do with the one that's taking the longest. So yeah, I managed to get 200 pages into this. I'm 210 pages into A Court of Silver Flames, and I am really enjoying this. It's really good. And yeah, so far not a lot has happened, but it's starting. It's like brewing. So far I'm really enjoying this. Then I got 207 pages into this, and so I am over halfway through. I have roughly 100 and so pages left. So far I'm loving this. Is really good, and I am loving this cowboy romance. So yeah, obviously we are following Emmy and Luke, and basically Luke is Emmy's older brother's best friend. So he's a best friend's kind of brother's best friend, 2 lovers. So basically what I am curious about is who picks up on that they're kind of into each other before they tell. So I think the dad, Emmy's dad, has definitely picked up on it. I'm just saying it. I definitely think that he has picked up on it, and I can't wait. I hope he says something. And I'm curious to see if her other brother Wes has picked up on it, just because I feel like he at least have a hunch. And if Gus, the other brother of Emmy, has picked up on it, I'm not really sure. He just seems to be a little bit more not paying that much attention. I feel like Wes is definitely picking up on much more than Gus. But the dad has definitely picked up on it. He knows something is up. So it's really funny to see, kind of, because they are really into each other, but it's kind of a problem. I mean, they obviously think it's a problem. Let's see how this goes. We have 100 pages left, so a lot will go up. So a lot of people said that this was like really insta-lovey, and I don't know how I feel about this description, because they already know each other. So I just I feel like a lot of Insta loves. I mean, this is if it's a little Insta lovey, but it's not one that I care about. Is that because they already know each other? I'm a little bit more nitpicky when they meet and just fall heads over heels and don't know each other. That annoys me more. But yeah, this one, really enjoy it. So I will definitely finish this one off tomorrow, and I need to pick between these two, and I don't know who I want to pick up. Do I want professional bull riding or kind of just simple ranch living? I don't really know who I want to. So this one is a little shorter. This one is 300 pages. So this one will take 2 days. If I'm not really hooked straight away and just keep on reading. And this one is like 400 pages, which will be 2 days as well. No, a little bit over. So I don't really know. I will have to see what I'm feeling tomorrow. So this one has definitely an okay big text, and this one has an even bigger text, so I cannot decide. Truly, I cannot decide, and that's bad, but we are deciding tomorrow. And then I don't know if I want to do 100 or 150 in this. Might do 150, just so I'm able to get this one done. So that's the plan for tomorrow, and then see, maybe I am able to pick up one of these or not. I don't really know. You have to finish this afterwards, so yeah. And then obviously have a few audiobooks. So I definitely have more audiobooks than I kind of want to have, so that sucks. So I don't really know how many I have left. Ow. I always do that. So let's just see how it's going. So family lore, I will have finished. So meaning that for my goals, I have Darth Plagueis. I'm thinking that will be Wednesday's book. Like Wednesday's audiobook, because I have 20 videos left on my YouTube like watch list. So I will probably finish that off tomorrow, which is great. And then I can do Darth Plagueis, just because then I need my computer to listen to that. Then I obviously have A Deal with the Elf King, which is obviously this one. And then I have Weekends with You, which is an audiobook. So if I do that Thursday, we also have Things We Left Behind, which is long. That is almost 600 pages. So we're definitely cutting it close, and yeah. And then let's see, we have Cowboy Up, which I obviously need to get to. So, and then Off to the Races. So Cowboy Up, I think, is like 2.5 hours, and I think maybe Off to the Races is around the same. So technically, it's not that big of a problem. I should definitely do one of those tomorrow. Really need to see who. And then I kind of need to get to Bound by Honor. So that's a lot. We have 5 audiobooks left, I think. So we have, it should be fine, you know. So I might do Off to the Races tomorrow. Darth Plagueis on Wednesday, and then on Cowboy Up on Thursday. And then maybe weekends with you. Friday, Bound by Honor, Saturday, or next week. So we still have a lot to go. But yeah. But that was kind of it for today. So yeah, I hope you like this video, and I will see you next time for another one, which is tomorrow. So bye!